Do you feel like you're lost yourself in life or have you found yourself? If you feel lost, is it where you can find yourself back home? Have you ever asked yourself why do you do the things you do? Well, hopefully today I get to answer those questions for you. Hi, my name is Percy Todd. I've always asked myself those type of questions, but I've never got an answer. My whole life I've been asking those types of questions. Eventually it led me to theories about in the fields of psychology. I've been researching these topics since I was in middle school. Ever since then, I've been gaining tons of information about it. There's no doubt that the audience needs to know about having a good mindset for multiple reasons. I believe it can be a key to happiness. A positive mindset can help you in your personal life and even in your work environment. It can lead to levels of distress if you don't fix those type of problems. It can help improve anyone's day. Today, the topic I'm going to be discussing is Carl Jung's theory of the shadow self. The theory states that a shadow self is an unconscious complex defined as the repressed, suppressed, or disowned qualities of the conscious self. Jung's theory of the conscious self involves the shadow self, which is the subconscious mind. The second point is the ego, which is the human's natural instinct that has a defensive mechanism which defends itself against the shadow self to adapt to society's norms, expectations, and your own reality. The third point I will be discussing is the conscious mind, which is the awareness of the reality you're in. At this time, I'd like to begin with the first point, which is the shadow self. The shadow self is basically your subconscious or unconscious mind, which has repressed elements of one's life, certain personality traits that elicit negative feedback or punishment from others, and traumas. Jung stated, in the case of the shadow self, it is a meeting with the disdain and rejected pieces of the total psyche, the inferior and unwanted qualities. Examples of this include trauma from witness murders, fear of rejection for someone calling you ugly, fear of abandonment from relationship breakups, envy from others because they have what you wish you had. The next point I would like to begin with is the ego. The ego is the persona or facial mask we use to dismiss our shadow self and adapt to society's expectation of behavior. Jung defined the ego or persona by saying persona is the individual's system of adaptation or the manner he assumes in dealing with the world. While the ego plays an important role in promoting social interaction in common life, problems arise when mankind over-identify himself with persona. Examples of the persona includes pretending to be happy day in, day out when you're not happy, pretending to be nonchalant in relationships because of past relationship that ended in your lover leaving you, pretending to like someone when you hate them. The next point I would like to discuss is the conscious mind. The conscious mind is our field of awareness by the five senses. Consciousness refers to your individual awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environment. Many examples of consciousness is everywhere in life. It is the time stuck in your head, the sweetness of chocolate mousse, the throbbing pain of a toothache, the fierce love of your child, and the bitter knowledge that eventually all feelings will end. I'm sure you heard about the devil and Jesus on your shoulder analogy. The ego is the devil, while your shadow self is Jesus. The devil tries to trick the conscious mind into evil, while Jesus tries to save the conscious mind and get us to repent our sins. In the secret teachings of all ages, Manly P. Hall stated, symbolism is the language of the mysteries. The symbols man have ever sought to communicate to each other, those thoughts which transcends the limitations of language. So the conscious mind has a choice to either be sad or to be free. The original context of yoga was spiritual development to train the body and mind to self-observe and become aware of their own nature. Yoga is basically about internal happiness and stability. Yoga is one of the few spiritual practices to help increase mental health and lower the risk of mental disorders. As I wrap my speech up, let's do a recap. Today we talked about the shadow self. The shadow self is the qualities that you had in yourself and that are holding you back from being free and happy. The second point was the ego, which is rejection of the shadow self. The third point we discussed was the conscious mind, and that is your awareness of life through the five senses: touch, sight, smell, and taste. I would like to leave you all with this residual message. The sad truth is that man's real life consists of complex of inarguable opposites, day and night, birth and death, happiness and misery, good and evil. We are not even sure that one will prevail over the other, the good will overcome evil, or joy defeat pain. Their quote is by Carl Jung from Approaching the Unconscious. Thank you for your time.